Team Jack, creating smiles, easing the journey. Jack Truman was just 15 years old when he received a terminal diagnosis of T-cell lymphoma. Jack's thoughts were not for the life he should have had ahead of him, but for the effect his illness had on his nearest and dearest.
Well, I wasn't upset really about the news, but it was that upset me more. It was more how's other people going to cope with it. I've obviously seen what happens and suffered the pain and went through it all, so I hope that it can be used to help others.
Jack's dying wish was to ease the journey for other children and young people, to make sure that siblings, parents, grandparents and any other loved ones were also supported along the way. The Team Jack Foundation is there for families all over Scotland, providing a community of support, fun activities, a safe place to play, to open up and so much more besides. Although based at Jack's Den in Livingston, Team Jack currently have local coordinators in Aberdeen, the Lothians and Borders and Fife and Tayside, taking Team Jack's services into the community for families who may be unable to make it to the main den.
We're on our way to St Columba's Church this morning for a pop-up session in Glenrothes. We're going to be playing bingo, adults and children's versions. We've got a few other activities as well, and the highlight is we're having pizza delivered for the first time ever, so there are a few excited children today and perhaps adults. A pop-up den is for people in areas where they can't necessarily access Livingston. So the pop-up den that I do is in Glenrothes, and we're now moving up to kind of Dundee and Tayside, and we've got them further north as well. But it's ensuring we're kind of all-inclusive and nobody's left out, making them local to people who perhaps don't have transport and things available to them, so that everybody can access the Team Jack facilities. We get out and about and do things in the community. Last summer we were at parks in St Andrews, and we've gone to places like Dundee Science Centre, so visits out with. A lot of the things we do in St Columba's, in our pop-up den, are craft-based things. We've literally just finished a bingo session. We've had Halloween parties and whatnot here as well. We listen, we take on board what people suggest and see if we can meet their needs and what they would like to do. And at the same time, there are some families who can't necessarily access these things. We can go out and do it in their homes, or if it's further support that they require, beyond the social support, we can organise things like counselling and music therapy and whatnot, and also providing support within the hospitals. Essentially, I'm based in Fife, but it became apparent that there were some families just across the Tay Bridge in Dundee who were looking for some support. So since then, I'm now covering Fife and Tayside. In fact, I'm heading over to Tayside this afternoon to work with a family in their home. Basically, you're allowed in to these families' lives at a time when they're very vulnerable, and it is a very privileged position to be in. If I can do something to brighten their day, to make them a little bit happier, as we say, to ease their journey, then that's great. 4, 3. I've done it. 3 dozen 36. Bingo!
The King family are frequent visitors to the Glenrothes pop-up den. To see little Meredith, tech-obsessed Bacchus and sparkly Agatha play today, it seems like their worries are a million miles away, but it wasn't always so.
Agatha had been a bit lethargic, and she turned down a play date which really wasn't like her, and she went to the bathroom and we saw she had a rash. So our first thought was meningitis, so we went to the Vic in Kirkcaldy. And we rowed in the car. It's stupid. What's the point in going? It's just nothing. Yeah. And actually planning to get McDonald's and Rice Krispies on the way home. And within a couple of hours, our world turned upside down when we were told she had leukemia.
When you're first on that, you first hear that word, and you don't necessarily know how it's going to play out. You're thinking, I'll have some time off work, and but you can never imagine what's involved and what's going to happen.
And your head's spinning because you're bombarded with all this information that actually you just can't process it and you can't take it in, and it's kind of like, you might only take in a fraction of it. So actually to then sit back, think about what you've been told, and then be able to ask another family.
You can ask a question that has been bugging you or you don't know, and someone that's been through that journey and someone that knows that answer.
And they won't judge you for asking it, and that's really important, that reassurance that you're not alone and somebody else has done this and they have come out the other side. It puts pressure on you because we are literally like ships in the night. One's on their way to hospital, then you swap over, then one's going to work, then the other, you're sorting the other children out, and it's absolutely exhausting. You miss out on things like Easter and Christmas and birthday parties and part of normal childhood growing up.
Certainly when you're out and you're immune suppressed, it's the places that you can't go, and it's your other siblings that then suffer as well. Like you can't go swimming, you can't go to the cinema or to shopping centres and things like that. It's the little things.
Bacchus was 5 before he'd even seen a soft play. We could go to Jack's Den and know it was safe, know that the children would be bug free, and there were activities for not only the cancer child but for the siblings as well, and they loved going because they were spoiled and looked after, and the team is just so incredible at making you all feel so welcome and so valued.
So when we come to Jack's Den, we do things like parties, we've got like lots of nice things. I remember the last time we were here, we had, I think it was a Halloween party, and it was really fun. It was like like wrap the mummy, like not the actual mummy, but like Halloween kind of thing. Yeah, and it's just like you get to spend time with your family and friends. I think we made a few friends. I've made 2. We didn't actually know before we started Jack's Den, but there was a few people that I had already met before, so it's just really nice to spend time with other families.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everybody who donates, whether it is time, money, sharing the word, even just sharing a post and raising awareness. It all makes such a difference, and you've helped to make our lives and our children's lives better, and that is more than you will ever know.
Brave Aaron Murphy from Dunfermline is facing his second battle with leukaemia.
Aaron was diagnosed with neuroblastoma back in 2011, first time. We had 5 years remission, and then unfortunately relapsed in 2017, so the cancer came back. In and out of hospitals and stuff, and treatment-wise, and just kind of trying to muddle through it, really. Emma came along just as Aaron was finishing his treatment the first time round, so it was a little gift for us that we got, wasn't it? Yeah. So we're just kind of muddling through and keep putting one foot in front of the other and just keep going. Yeah.
For Dad Dougie, it's the camaraderie and friendship with other parents who understand life on this treadmill, which makes things a little easier. And Team Jack makes sure that Mum Louise and little sister Emma don't feel left out either.
It's a great place that we just feel really comfortable in. The kids feel comfortable. First of all, it was just kind of coming along. Aaron used to get music therapy. Still does actually get some music therapy as well. So it was great. He went into his therapy session, and we used to sit and chat with whoever was there, and that was kind of like our therapy session as well. So yeah, it was great.
Donnie and wife Lorna's eldest boy, little warrior Leon, has had his battles, but the pop-up den gives him the chance to play with other kids in a clean, safe environment. Little brother Leighton also gets to join in the fun.
My wife and I had a son, Leon, who when he was almost 2 was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. My wife was 5 months pregnant at the time as well, which added to the stress. So Leon is now a year into maintenance, doing very well. We've got about another year or so to go. But every day is a bit of a challenge in terms of how he's doing, how he's coping, but he's a wee trooper. He's coping remarkably, really well.
There's a couple of things I'll show you once we get on it. We're coming on.
Team Jack like to look after the whole family, giving time-out experiences to siblings, parents and grandparents. Today, some of the Fife dads are enjoying a Segway session at Clooney Activities. Although it looks like great fun, there's also a serious point to it.
It's good for the guys to get together, who wouldn't normally get together, and you inadvertently talk about what you're going through without getting all emotionally. But it's easy for women to make friends and talk and all the rest of it, so it's nice to do something like this with the guys that know what you're going through, and a bit of support, and as I say, a bit of a distraction to get away from the usual conversation about the hospital and things, so that was good.
When you're talking to another cancer parent, it's just great to be yourself almost, and open up, and they know exactly where you're coming from and exactly how you're feeling. And it's a lovely little kind of family that we've got at Jack's Den. It's great.
You find your friends and family are there to support, and they are a good support, but they don't quite understand the day-to-day, the ups and downs that you face. But also, if you have any questions, a lot of these guys have been through what you've been through already, and you can get answers from the guys, or likewise you can give the guys answers that they need, and it gives them a bit of comfort. So, like that.
There's always something for the whole family. There's so stuff for the mums, they do their own thing, like pamper sessions, etc. We have dad's stuff, dads are a bit different, so we do the FIFA and the escape rooms, and then the kids just get spoilt rotten with anything that they get as well. You just feel like you're in a warm environment, and these things all cost money, and without the fundraisers and the volunteers, it just wouldn't happen. So a huge thank you, a huge thank you.
Team Jack, providing practical, social and emotional support to sick children and young people aged up to 25, their families, friends and to those bereaved.